Hi there, I'm AJ, and I appreciate you coming back to the channel and want to thank you for being with me here today. In today's video, I'm going to show you 17 pretty easy shortcuts in Logic Pro that I believe to be the most essential when it comes to making music. I cut the list down to just 2 to 3 button combinations and try to keep it as simple as possible for you, because I know memorizing shortcuts can just be a lot. If you like this video at any point, please do drop it a like, and now that that's all out of the way, let's get right into the shortcuts. So, starting off, go to Logic Pro, Settings, and Advanced. So, right now my Logic kind of looks like a beginner, like simplified mode, I think is what they call it. And now if I check this box for Enable Complete Features, you're going to have access to a bunch of editing stuff, audio advanced features, mixing, changing your colors, the track headings, like key commands and stuff, which is really what this video is all about. So yeah, this is the most foundational part. Make sure that you do this before moving on. The next tip is force legato. So you have a track and basically you start drawing out these notes. You run into issues because you want to connect these notes, but you can't because they're all little kind of short stubby notes, so you can't really connect them. So what you do is you highlight them all, shift, and then backspace. And that is force legato. It's going to connect all the notes so they kind of all connect to each other. Next one is cut Midi overlap. So a lot of times you have MIDI notes that are overlapping each other, and sometimes you don't want each note to go to the next one. It's kind of the opposite of force legato. What you do is you highlight your notes, and then you hit the backspace, hit shorten, and they're gone. Isn't that great? Next tip on the list is moving notes up or down. You can do this by octave or by semitone. If you want to do it by octave, do Shift Option up. If you want to go down, just do the opposite, Shift Option down. Next tip is, if you want to do it by semitone, all you have to do is Option up, or Option down. Very cool. This is great for when you're writing melodies and you're just trying to figure out like, oh, maybe I want that up an octave, or maybe I just want to go try some different notes. And this is really cool if you're someone who like clicks in their melodies a lot. This is like perfect for you. Hey, if you all are enjoying this video, we would love it if you would give us a thumbs up, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, now let's say that you got a great melody and you're ready to export it. One really easy way to bounce an idea is just by doing Control B. Just bounce in place and then you name it whatever you want to name it, enter, and you have your file. Next tip is split by Playhead. For this tip, all you really have to do if you want to cut up a certain section of a region, you don't want to use the marquee tool or you don't really want to use the scissors tool, all you really have to do is find the section that you want, hit Command T, and hit Command T, and hit Command T, and there you go. You have a whole section that's been cut up. So you basically just designate a value up here, Command T. All right, our next tip is reversing. So let's say you have a loop that you want to reverse. This is something that happens a lot in music production. You want to reverse a certain section for a specific effect. All you have to do is highlight your regions, Shift, Control R, and then you got a reverse track. Okay, so for our next tip, it's not necessarily like a shortcut, but it's a way to cut equal parts from one larger piece. You bust out the scissors tool, I already have it selected, and then you do Option Command. We're gonna do quarter notes for this. Bam, now it cuts them all up for you. Just make sure that you have one region that hasn't been cut up. It's gonna cut them up all into equal portions for you, which is great for like if you're doing little vocal chops or if you're doing like sections that you want to repeat. Now, these are going to be a little bit more like for like beginners, and towards the end there's a couple more tips that are a little bit more advanced. K for metronome. So if you do space and you're playing a region and then you hit K, metronome comes on. Now, I had this section looping just now, and this section, I basically just like highlighted 4 bars, 23 through 27. If you are recording like an instrument and you want to just do a quick cycle range, you want to turn it on or off, all you have to do is hit C. So C is going to turn it on and off. This one comes in handy a lot more than you think. I think it's kind of like an underrated one. If you do A, you can go to the automation menu, so you can see all the plugins that you have on a certain track, and you can basically start setting parameters here, and you can start manipulating the automation. So if you wanted to mess with the dimension in this specific chorus plugin, you could go in there and you could start writing automation there, all done with A, turns it on and off. For the next tip, let's say you have a bunch of sections here and you want to just kind of join them together. One easy way to do this is just to hit the J button, highlight all the tracks, hit J, now they're all together. Now you have one kind of concise, complete MIDI region, and it just makes it easier so that you can just combine sections. Next tip is colors. Let's say that you wanted to just start color coding your instruments and your mix, do Option C, and now you got all your colors. So now you can just go into certain sections. I got the keys. I got my keys here. Let's make those like yellow. We got like Vox and leads and like these other supporting instruments. I can make those blue. We have like these pads too. I'll make those blue as well. And then we have drums here. I'll make those red. And then I got like my 808 and my Reese bass and like all that other kind of like bass material. I'll make it orange. Keep spicing things up. That's how you use the colors. Now this is a tip that I use a lot. Command R, which is repeat. So if you want to repeat a section, do Command R, Command R. Command R is really useful if you're in a pinch and you don't feel like doing Alt or Option drag. You can just do Command R and it just makes life so much easier. This one I use a lot as well is Open Mixer. So do X and now you have the whole mixer. You can see all your tracks. If you go to all, you can see like literally everything, like your summing tracks. You can see all your hidden tracks. You can see the master. That's all here. You can do single if you just want to see like the one track. It's all there. Now, last tip I have for you today is hide. If you hit H on your keyboard, you can see all the hidden tracks. If you have like a dense mix and you have a lot of instruments, you have a lot of just elements happening, just hit H. If you select the H button on the track and then hit H again, it's gone. The ones that are highlighted H, those specific tracks are going to be hidden. You're not going to see them. You can mute them, you can solo them. This is great if you have a lot of tracks and you just don't want to see them anymore. So this is a good way to just get them out of here. H&M. H&M. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave the video a like and don't forget to hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And please don't ever stop creating your music. I'll see you in the next video.